Hey guys, Captain Eric Leonard's here with Tactical Angling, and it's starting to get cold in the northern states. That means putting the boat away for just a couple of months. Today I'm going to share a few tips and tricks that'll help you winterize your Skeeter boat. Now I only put my boat away for a few months, but one of the things that I do as I near the end of my season is I start to use a good fuel stabilizer. Yamalube Fuel Stabilizer Conditioner Plus is one solid fuel additive that will protect your lines from harmful ethanols in many of today's fuels. Keep in mind, 4-stroke outboards do not need to be fogged like your traditional 2-stroke outboards, so this is cheap insurance to help protect your fuel lines. Most outboard maintenance schedules suggest a gear lube change each season or every 100 hours. If you don't reach 100 hours in your season, that's okay. Go ahead and preemptively change that gear lube, because what that'll do is it'll prevent any water buildup in your gear case, which could potentially freeze and expand over the winter months. Now, I'm not quite ready to put my boat away yet, so I'm just going to show you with my hands. The drain and fill is located right here. Make sure that you let all that fluid drain out of there a good long time before you fill it, and make sure to always use Yamalube gear oil in the gear case, and make sure to check your outboard motor for the exact specifications. One thing that's really, really important, and I do this periodically throughout the course of the season, but I'm on the water a lot, so what I would recommend is take your prop off the main engine and the kicker motor and check for any line buildup on the prop shaft. That can happen quite a bit. You know, people deposit a line in the wrong way, and you might end up with buildup. And what that can do is it can cause damage to your prop shaft seals, which can create leaks and cause all kinds of other gear case issues. So it's a really good idea to pull that prop off every once in a while and check for line. There's a very good chance that your Skeeter boat is equipped with a Minn Kota bow mount trolling motor. My particular Skeeter has a Minn Kota Ultrex. And what I'll do, and I do this on an almost weekly basis, is I'll pop this prop off really quick and just double check for any line buildup on this prop shaft. What that can do is cause all kinds of issues, allowing water into your case here, which can cause your trolling motor not to operate correctly. So if you want to keep your motor working smoothly, I would recommend popping that prop off on a regular basis and checking for line. This next step finds us back by the engine again. Your Yamaha outboard is equipped with a series of Zerk fittings. They're all across the steering shaft here and then down the base of the trim rams. And what I would suggest is get yourself a good Zerk fitting grease gun. These can be bought, you know, at any hardware store for $15 or $20, and a good marine grade grease. And go ahead and grease those Zerk fittings up a couple times a year. If you don't do it any other time of the year, it's a really good idea to do that before you put your boat away for the remainder of the season. In today's marine applications, you can invest a whole lot of money in batteries. So this next step finds us at the battery compartment, where we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do with your batteries to make sure that they're good next spring after you store your boat. If you're storing your boat in an area that does get really, really cold, what you may want to do is actually remove all these batteries and take them in and put them in a warm place. Do not store them on a concrete floor. I always recommend putting down a piece of wood and make sure that they're charged before you remove them. You can either do this with your charger, if you don't have a Minn Kota charger, whatever type of onboard charger you have, or just take a trickle charger and get them all charged up to a peak level before you put them away. The last and final step that I do is I go through and I actually vacuum and wipe down this whole battery compartment. You don't want any moisture in here. And then your boat should be equipped with an off switch like this, a master power switch. And what I like to do is I take that switch and I actually turn it to off. This should not affect your onboard charger if you do leave your batteries in, if your boat is wired correctly, but you want to make sure that you turn this to off. If you're going to leave the batteries in the boat, go through and inspect all your terminals and make sure that everything is clean and you don't have any corrosion on your terminals. I also trim my outboard all the way down. What that'll do is it'll allow any of that water to drain out of the motor itself so that you don't have any water freezing or expanding and causing any issues when you've got the boat stored. Anybody that knows me or has fished with me knows I like a really clean boat. So the last thing I do when I'm finished for the season is I pressure wash the exterior of the boat, the trailer, and the interior. And that includes opening up all the compartments and running a vacuum, and also scrubbing that EVA foam floor. One of the other things that I like to do is I take a couple of dryer sheets, put a dryer sheet in each compartment, because that'll keep the mice and rodents out of your boat, and make sure it's covered up really tight. And that's the final step. I hope you found these tips and tricks useful when putting your boat away for the season. Keep in mind, you can always visit your local Skeeter dealer for a full winterization and inspection.